You said the first step was find it, right?
Yeah,
So finding it, like if I'm paraphrasing this correctly, is finding your inner purpose and values and
yeah.
understanding that's so much that now you can put it on paper and explain why those, like what those values are to other people. Is that
Finding
correct?
is, yeah. So, and like even deeper is finding is having this conversation to spark the belief in being interested in understanding this conversation,
Mm,
to then be able to get clear on what my purpose is, what is my vision. Vision is like the visual representation of your goal. Well, your goals are going to be based on what you want and what you don't want. Your
right.
purpose is why you're doing that, and your mission is like, this is what I got to do every day. So I'll give you an example. Culture
Yeah.
matters as an idea. The vision is we want to live in a world where every man, woman, and child takes responsibility to share new ideas, to
Mm-hmm.
think, to develop. The mission is to read, to write, to speak, and inspire other people to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
we got a list of values that when they're embodied, the individuals talk, think, believe, and habituate the behavior necessary to actually achieve that vision, to be
Right.
more powerful, loving humans. So, like, my point is, you're in medicine. It's like, well, what you write that down. Like, finding it is figuring out why you're even in the business. Like, and because that's your purpose will come from figuring that out, and like now it's clear and you can go to work saying everything that I'm doing or what I must do is going to bring me closer to that. And
Yeah.
it's those are the conversations you start having with the people on your team. And now you think, well, that sounds soft or fluffy. Yeah, alone it is, but when you tie that with the tacit knowledge people need to learn, like there's so
Yeah.
much stuff you got to learn to be, I'm sure, to be
Yeah.
a prominent physician in some capacity.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And a lot of that can be stuff that's, well, lacks meaning
Yeah.
if you don't give it meaning.
Right.
When you tie the meaning to the knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's some power there
A
to
hundred
save
percent.
to save lives. Like what the heck are you
A
doing?
hundred, 100%. And so I want to use your team as an example here. So you like clearly stated your mission, you clearly stated your vision, and you said you have cultural values. And my assumption is every single person on your team knows those values.
Yeah.
And so every single person on that team can then embody or be a model of that mission, vision, and value system that leads you towards that vision, right? So not only are you sitting and working or doing whatever you're doing, but you can see the vision, so your direction, even though it's
Something
hard
that
work.
Simon didn't write in his book, Start With Why, which
Simon Sinek.
I can just give you is the answer. The vision is the why. The purpose is the why. The mission is what you're doing to get there. How you're actually going to get there are your values. Like your character is just like your reputation is the effect of the cause of your character. What's your character? It's what you say, what you think, what you hypothesize is possible, right? An idea,
Mm-hmm.
what you believe based on that hypothesis. Then you take action. The actions give you results, whether positive or negative. And based on your current belief, you either stop or keep going, which gets you habituations that you now tell your friends, well, don't do that over there. That didn't work for me. And that becomes your conviction, and that's your character, which then translates to a culture. They either agree with you or don't agree with you. So my point is everything in life rises and falls on that.
Yeah.
So you got to get extremely clear on that. So how we do it is we have meetings where we talk about these values and actually put them into practice with things that we need to learn.
Right.
And that develops. So the how are the values. Like how you're going to get there is embodying these character traits that will get the job done.
Right.
And so if you're a physician, I'm sure you could sit down and be like, who am I, or who do I need to be
Right.
to be the best version of myself for my customer?
Right.
And we got to get clear on what words will symbolize that meaning, because
Yeah.
that's all words are. They're bridges of thought energy.
Yeah.
It's like the word grit. Well, what does that mean? It means different, specifically different context. Or like if I were to ask you what grit meant, you'd give me a sentence that
Sure.
might differ completely from Joe Schmo.
Right.
But Joe Schmo and you, and I asked 10 people, the average context of what it means might kind of sound the same.
Right.
However, unless everyone is on the same page in that culture
Yeah.
of what grit means to them, there won't necessarily be a really high level of alignment.
Right. So what you're saying is in the culture that you're developing, you need to be clear about what the word grit would mean, for example, in that team or in that group setting.
Heck yeah, because that's going to create new, potentially
Yeah.
habituations or habits that get the results that the founder of the organization, they're the catalyst, they're the father, the idea is the mother, they're the father. They are driving the behavior through the word, period.
Yeah.
And the son would be represented by all of the employees or all of the followers that are going to develop into leaders, because all humans are leaders, biologically speaking, potential leaders.
Right.
It's like, it's very important. And we do that with team meetings. We have team meetings every Monday open to the public where people can come together and develop.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of those meetings, we start with a value.
Yeah.
And we use that to drive the conversation.
So
and knowing it, this is important. Knowing it is the beginning, but being something is on a higher level of abstraction. It is when you talk about it, you think about it, you use it. It's like your homework, right? You're not just doing homework. You're using it in real life.
Right.
And it becomes a habituation.